you have to face the fact as a fan that you're going to lose them because other teams, the more powerful teams, the teams with more worldwide fame, more money, everything about them is bigger. Man City, Man United, Arsenal, Liverpool, they're the ones who often, you know, they get these players from the smaller clubs and get the benefit of them, as we often see. So that is a disadvantage. But I certainly think your initial comment that Adam Wharton is likely to leave Palace, I don't think there's any question about that. I think he will. I don't think it'll be in January, the next window when that opens. I think it is likely to be next summer. It could be a year later, but I have a feeling it will be next summer because he clearly is what I would describe as a gem of a footballer. He's got that something which most players don't have. It's an awareness of his own players around him. He knows where they are and so on. One comment I would make, and it's not meant to be a criticism. And in fact, halfway through the game on Sunday for England against Albania, at half time, the pundits, I think there was Roy Keane and Ian Wright, that's right. And Ian Wright made the point, and Roy Keane agreed, that what they like about Wharton particularly is that when he gets the ball, he likes to play it forward. So many players, play it safe. They go sideways, they go back, and okay, that is part of the game. Inevitably, you don't want to just always hit and hope forward. But Wharton does it in a measured way. He knows where the players are, and he'll often put a defence splitting pass through or a forward pass. Very rare for him to make a back, and they really praised him up for that. But I have to say, and this is not, I don't like to be negative, and I don't like to think of it like that, more objective. But for my part, having watched that first half, I was slightly disappointed in him, in his performance. He didn't, to be fair to him, he seemed always to be attached to one of the opposition. They obviously do their research, the teams, all the other players, and he didn't seem to be able to find the space he normally can. There were one or two, but as soon as he got the ball, he was crowded, and so he had to sort of release the ball quickly, which he does very well anyway. But I'm not going to say he didn't look as committed as he normally does in a game. Well, I probably said it, but I don't think it was that. I don't know whether he wasn't fully fit, whether, as you mentioned about players having other things going on in their heads, whether there was something else going on in his mind. I just didn't think it was the Adam Wharton that I see at Palace or that I've seen for England before when he comes on or when he starts. He's that player who is quite deceptive in that he looks very unflappable, which he is. The way you watch the way he runs and moves around, there's no tension there. He's taking it all in his stride, and it's part of his quality. And yeah, he will go for a lot of money, I believe, probably next summer. But I was a bit concerned about him on Sunday, not being critical of him, but he didn't look like the player that I think he is. And although I was pleasantly surprised that Ian Wright and Roy Keane said nothing like I've just said, but just praised him for his ability and desire to pass the ball forward. So maybe it was just me being, I'm not critical, but just being a bit, I don't know, misreading something. But I looked at the scores, the ratings for those players afterwards, and I think, I can't remember all of them, but some players were 5, which I think was the low point, and one was Dan Burn, who I thought didn't have a bad game, probably in place of Mark Gahey, who of course is injured, sadly. I think, and Wharton got 5, a few got 6, 2 or 3 got 7. Got 7. I think our goalkeeper Dean Henderson, I thought, played well, and on that point, nothing against Jordan Pickford. I think he's been a great servant for England and probably will still be. I just think he's a bit prone these days to the odd the odd mistake. And I think Henderson may just have edged above him now. And I'm bound to say that, aren't I? But that's not why I'm saying it, because he's Palace's keeper. But he is brilliant. He will stop stuff which for many other keepers will be certain goals against them. So he got a good score. I think he got a 7 or an 8.
Mm.
But yeah, as far as Adam's concerned,
Mm.
he will go, and good luck to him. I think more and more players will be as likely to go to Barcelona, Madrid, as they are to another English club. A lot of them want the experience, don't they, of going abroad, perhaps making even more money
Mm.
and tasting the nicer climate, for example, and all the other things that go with that.
Mm.
But I hope, as long as we've got him, I know the crowd, we appreciate him, and we do all the players. And we know Mark Gay is likely to go in January,
Mm.
and Wharton in the summer. And from a Palace's fans' point of view, having lost Elise and Eze and others, it becomes a bit frustrating, because especially as we've now achieved winning a couple of big trophies,
Mm.
including the Community Shield, it seems no sooner do we do that, and the FA Cup, of course, than we're diluting the team. But it's inevitable. Until we grow, the new stadium, the addition to it is going to start, I think, during this season now, and then it will probably take a couple of years to do. But
Mm.
that will increase our crowd capacity, which in turn increases the turnover, the sales of the tickets, which in turn means the financial fair play rules
Mm.
are a bit more generous to a team in that situation. So it's a bit of an incremental step up the ladder.
Mm.
But anyway, yeah, Adam Wharton, great player, and I hope we keep him as long as possible.
Oh, I hope you do. I hope you do. But it'd be great if he comes to Manchester United.
Yeah, I didn't really answer your question. Just to briefly say then, I
Right.
think Adam Wharton would fit in anywhere, because it's not dependent on, perhaps in the same way that Wirtz we talked about, is more dependent on the forwards behaving in a certain way, taking their chances or trying to take their chances. I think Adam is such a creative player that
Mm.
he would always create. He'll create assists, because he's
Mm.
got that ability to see a pass before anybody else does, and he's
Mm.
so accurate. The weighting of his chip or his pass is
Mm.
out of this world, really. The weighting of the ball.
Mm.
So yeah, he would adapt there. Any team will be benefited by Adam.